Hello again, Gooners. Yes, not a particularly cheerful note. We're going to be talking, or I'm going to be talking about the Manchester United game. That's about it, really. And some of the criticism I've been reading, and some of the strange rumours that have been going around. A lot of interesting things coming out in the week regarding the manager and his dictatorship. Do I believe it's a dictatorship at Arsenal Football Club? I'll be sitting on the fence on this one because I'm not too sure. It does seem rather unusual that somebody like Stuart Robson has come out and apparently said that Wenger is running a tight ship, as in kind of mixing metaphors here, but saying something along the lines of "it's my way or the highway" to the likes of Steve Bold. I think Steve Bold is an easygoing sort of guy, and which is probably why he's gone up the ranks and is now the assistant boss. Whether he's been listened to the way he was at the start of the season remains to be seen. But he's certainly doing a lot of work in warm ups and getting the team ready in a better way probably than Pat Rice was during the end of his time as assistant. So I still see it. It was a positive thing bringing Steve Bold in to the back room at first team level, and let's not think that things are going so badly wrong because we've lost at Manchester United. So what's so unusual about that? We lose there all the time. Um, we're not title contenders. I've said so right from the start of the season. Let's just dispel that myth right now. We're not going to win the title. Sorry about that. Not with this team this year, this season, unless we and we know the unless is not going to happen unless we rebuild the squad or bring in. Don't have to rebuild the squad. It's not a major overhaul, but bring in three winners into that team, three players that would be pushing for a first team spot. But we're not going to do that. We're more likely to lose a player, Theo Walcott being that player that's probably going to leave in January, I'm afraid to say. Not that he played particularly well today against Manchester United, but then again, who did? But let's not get too carried away. Who played badly? See, that's not so easy to highlight, is it? Thomas Vermaelen had a pretty bad game by his standards. I don't think it was that terrible, but not that good. As I maintained, I really feel sometimes we get carried away with these results just because we lost to Manchester United. So what? Sanya had a reasonable game at right back. Mertesacker I thought did well, but Vermaelen obviously giving the ball away for the first goal, that wasn't the greatest of starts. Had that not happened, we would have got a draw. Had Giroud's shot that hit the post gone in, that would have got us a draw. Did we deserve a draw? Probably not. Was Santos really that bad at left back? I don't think so. I think he's getting better. I don't think he was brilliant there. Don't get me wrong. He's not Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs is a better athlete, but Santos will become more athletic the more games he plays. So I thought I'm noticing an improvement. I hope my eyes are not deceiving me, but I'm noticing an improvement in Santos. And the same goes for Manoni. I think he's improving. He had to get the ball out of the back of the net a couple of times, but then again, he did pull off some pretty good saves. It was quite impressive. He got off his line very quickly to thwart danger, and I'm very pleased with Manoni. What about the midfield? Well, Arteta, I think, is not playing at his best right now. He's making more mistakes than he has done in the recent past. The same goes for Santi Cazorla. And then Podolski, well, as we know, he's playing with an injury, so should we expect so much from him? But we have to expect a lot from him because we haven't got a squad that's anything but paper thin. I was going to say we've got a thick squad. Perhaps we have. We've got that too. Giroud up front. I think he's going to come good. And I felt it was very unfair of Jamie Redknapp to start comparing Giroud and Podolski to Robin Van Persie. Because if you compare them for their first season at Arsenal, then you'd have to say Giroud and Podolski are probably doing better than Robin Van Persie did in his first season at Arsenal. So let's not ever lose sight of that fact. So with these unfair comparisons that pundits come out with, we really just gotta I suppose grin and bear it and listen to it. I don't dislike Jamie Redknapp, far from it. Not at all. I know a lot of Arsenal fans do because of his past sort of Tottenham allegiance, but don't believe everything you read. And okay, he was wearing the white shirt, the dreaded white shirt. But talking of which, are they really okay? They're higher in the table than us right now. Are they a better team than us? I'd say not. Not based on losing at home to Wigan. You'd say that's a pretty horrific result for them. And is AVB a better manager than Harry Redknapp? I'd say not. Are they a significantly worse team where they've lost King, of course? So I don't think the current Tottenham side is any better than this Arsenal side. I'd say slightly worse. I don't think that Chelsea, as well as they've been doing, are significantly better than Arsenal. I'd say slightly, probably about on a par. I have to stick to my guns here because I said we would finish higher than Chelsea in the league table. That doesn't seem likely right now, but then you could say the same last season. Look how we started last season and how Chelsea started, and then look who finished higher. We were the top London club. The two Manchesters, obviously, they've invested more money than us, and as have Chelsea, and they're expected to finish higher than us, and I expect they will. Chelsea, I'm not so sure about. I think they might. I think they'll be pushing for top four, as we will be, and there you've got your top four clubs: the two Manchesters and Arsenal and Chelsea. That's the top four. Then outside of that, it's probably Spurs. So I don't really see that a lot's changed. So I'm not saying we should get used to this idea that fourth is first and all the rest of it, because if fourth was first, then where would we be now? We'd be about third, right? See, I'm getting so confused with all of that. But anyway, let's not think that Arsene Wenger's running a dictatorship. He might be, but we're not too sure about it, so we shouldn't jump to conclusions on that. And we should just be not grateful for small mercies. We should hope that Wenger will see that we do need to invest a bit in the squad, and we do need to play Theo in his proper position. And Jamie Redknapp was right about one thing: we were lacking pace without Theo in the team, in the starting 11. But then I was thinking Rambo hadn't done that well playing on the right side of midfield, because certainly he's not a winger. He didn't really cause a lot of problems. But then did Theo cause any more problems when he came on to play in that position? Probably not. So looking at it overall, and Sharvin, he surely deserves a bit more of a chance than he's getting. If he's coming on for the last 7-8 minutes, it's really going to be difficult for him to impose himself in this team. But yeah, I don't think is now is a time for us to sort of rush around wailing and bemoaning our position in the league and being worried about our future. I think at the moment we should be pleased that this team's come as far as it has, given that we've had a number of new faces. I think they're gelling not as well as they might, but you're always going to, sometimes it's a case of two steps forward, one backwards, and we've had the one backward, I would say, against Reading in the first half more so than against United at Old Trafford. Although it was a below par display, it was also below par for United too. So I'm not overly worried about it. I just think we're not as good as United, but we're not that far off. And not like we were last season when we knew we needed a major revamp, and that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, the fans were having a go at Ivan Gazidis, which is interesting. I'm not too sure what he's expected to do. He's a chief exec. I think he's doing a reasonably good job. And I'm not one of those people that just says because they work for Arsenal they are holier than thou. Because clearly I don't believe that. I think Arsene Wenger is still the right manager. But I wish he would do certain things that he hasn't been doing, and like get in the defence a bit more disciplined than they have been. But defensively, apart from the Vermaelen mistake, I'm not so sure it was that bad a defensive display from the team. I thought the midfield could have done a bit more to help them. That's all. So all in all, I'm not overly disappointed. Other results have gone our way. Look at Manchester City. They couldn't even beat West Ham, and we managed to get 3 points there. So some of those other results should fill us with optimism. Chelsea dropping 2 points as well. So let's not get too downhearted. And I'm looking forward to the Schalke game. I think we will get a point. I shouldn't say that because I said we'd get something from Old Trafford. We haven't. But I think we will get a point from Schalke, and I'm expecting us to beat Fulham and Spurs. So on that optimistic note, I'll leave it until the next time. Up the Gooners.